Well, Bennett Kessler filed this following story. Before Mammoth Lakes Police Chief Dan Watson's arrival 4 years ago as interim chief, the police department had been plagued with a grand jury investigation, court incidents, and bad publicity generally. When Watson was appointed as permanent chief 7 months later in 2011, things had changed. Back then, Chief Watson said, quote, "Overall, I'm very pleased and impressed by the caliber of professionalism and dedication by the officers," end quote. Chief Watson still says those same things today as he prepares to retire at the end of the year. Dan Watson said he has been considering his retirement for quite a while. He said he gave his notice to town manager Dan Holler last week, and a formal announcement will be forthcoming. Now, Watson's last day is scheduled to be December 29th. Of his stint in Mammoth Lakes, the chief said, quote, "I've enjoyed it, and it's a good way to wrap up my career," end quote. Now, that career spans 41 years. Watson served as police chief of South Pasadena for 8 years before his move to Mammoth Lakes. Hard times hit the police department when they hit the entire town. The near bankruptcy and big lawsuit debt led to a 60% cut of the police budget. Now, did those very hard times contribute to his wish to retire? The chief said, quote, "It didn't. If anything, it caused me to stay longer. With 41 years in law enforcement, I could have retired earlier," end quote. Chief Watson said when the Mammoth Lakes Town Council had to deal with a $2 million per year debt payment and 60% of it was out of his department, the town was in a state of turmoil. His departure, said Watson, would have made the situation worse. We needed stability. Now, the chief provided that with his presence. Said Watson, quote, "I decided to stay the course," end quote. Now, he said, the town of Mammoth Lakes is on the mend, the Mammoth Police Department is stable, and there is a permanent town manager who will select the next chief. Said Watson, things have lined up. Now, though they love Mammoth, the chief and his wife, Catherine, will sell their home and move back to Southern California. Watson said his wife suffers from chronic high-altitude sickness and needs lower elevations. He called it regrettable and said Mammoth is a wonderful environment. Watson is a people person and made many contacts and friends in his stay in Mammoth Lakes. He became a part of the society with his considerable participation. He even thoughtfully answered questions on our website when he could shine light on the way law enforcement operates. What did he like most about his job? Said the chief, quote, "I really enjoyed the people in the department. They had been beaten down by a number of things. They responded really well and came through tumultuous times. I enjoy all the people I work with," end quote. Chief Watson also said, "Police departments are family, somewhat dysfunctional, but very supportive. I leave with a good feeling about what I've done here," end quote. Well, Bennett Kessler also filed this story. With possibly as many as a dozen law enforcement agents descending on a house in Lone Pine, the event did not go unnoticed by residents. Now, last Thursday, Rangers and special agents of the Bureau of Land Management served a federal search warrant on a home in Lone Pine as part of an ongoing investigation into the alleged theft and destruction of ancient Native American burial artifacts. Now, according to Dana Watson of BLM External Affairs, agents from BLM, the Forest Service, and the FBI Evidence Response Team took part in service of the search warrant. Inyo County Sheriff's officers were also present. Wilson said the last she heard from an agent on scene, the event went smoothly. She said Indian artifacts from a variety of places were confiscated. Now, some reports said the ongoing investigation started as long as a year ago and involved Indian burial grounds near Keeler. A Lone Pine local is the suspect, but not being named since no charges have been filed. Now, this whole matter remains highly secretive. Ms. Wilson of BLM said the search warrant was sealed and BLM had to get permission from the U.S. Attorney to even reveal any facts about the nature of the case. Now, asked if this case were related to the theft of petroglyphs from the volcanic tablelands north of Bishop toward the end of 2012, Ms. Wilson said she did not know. Those petroglyphs were recovered at the beginning of 2013 through anonymous information, but no arrests have ever been made. Well, we're getting information from the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fairgrounds, or fair I should say, that it regrets to announce that its online ticket sales will not launch Tuesday, July 1st as originally planned. A press release states that due to technical difficulties beyond their control, they have to delay the launch. Fair CEO Sally Simons apologized for the delay and said online sales will be up and running as quickly as possible. If anybody has any questions regarding the online ticket sales or the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair, can contact the Fair office at 760-873-3588 and email info@tricountyfair.com. Well, let's check in again with the Wounded Warriors. Sierra Wave Media's Rob Gill filed this story.
We are working right now on this fabulous project of building a national Wounded Warriors Center in Mammoth on the Saracoso College campus. We have 2 acres. We have the design, conceptual design already done by Bruce Woodward and Larry Walker. It's a fabulous facility that's going to house up to 38 wounded warriors who are going to be able to come and really reboot their lives, retool their lives, and go to school at Saracoso and come out with a new vocation, because a lot of them joined the service because they thought they were going to come out with a skill, a job set. But what happens in reality is a lot of them come out and they've got great characteristics, like they're great leaders, but a lot of times their skill set doesn't transfer over to a job in this day and age. So this is going to be a way for us to give them a leg up and get them a new set of skills that they can go back out into the civilian world and feel great about themselves and be a fabulous addition to our community. This is our conceptual design, and all I need to do is go out and raise $23 million. So if anybody has money that they'd like to donate for a very worthwhile cause, or have connections for me to go and ask for money, feel free to call me, 760-914-1275.
I think that there is no way you can actually put a monetary value to the difference that you make in just one individual. It is sometimes a shame the way that veterans are treated, and other times it's sheer joy to watch a veteran be handed kind of the keys to their own future. And unfortunately, there aren't as many resources that probably should be out there that allow a veteran to really transition on their own terms and kind of figure out what they want to do with their future. And I think this center is going to give them those tools to say, hey, I want to be this, or I want to be that, and this is the road that I want to take, while enjoying the beautiful recreational therapy and programs that are available to them.
And just to give viewers an idea of what disabled veterans go through, I'm a pretty put together, organized person. I had a plan, and I thought that once I was medically retired from the Marine Corps, that I would figure things out. It took me a year and a half to finally feel happy with where my life is. The fact that I'm contributing to society in a meaningful way, and that I have my life back, and I have a great support network. I have a husband that is the best husband in the world, I have to say, but he's just amazing. I have my family, and I have a great support network, and it still took me a year and a half to figure out what I wanted to do and feel at peace with where I am. And think about those veterans that don't have that support network, that didn't have access to DSES, or didn't have access to the Wounded Warrior regiments, or knowledge of what was out there. I mean, when you get injured, you don't know that you can go cycling still. You don't know that there's a such thing as a monoski, or you can play hockey in a sled called sled hockey. You don't know those things unless someone tells you. And that's what this center is going to do. They're going to give them direction in their own terms, give them a chance to figure out what they want to do, experience all these awesome adventures that are out here, opportunities, etc., bond with those other disabled veterans, learn, and then hopefully that transition time is a lot faster than it was for me.
These men and women with their families, their children, really need to be given as many opportunities as we as a society can give them, because they have definitely all over donated, and this is our chance to pay it forward.
Well, thank you, Rob, and all of the great people associated with Wounded Warriors and Disabled Sports Eastern Sierra. We'll be back with more news.